Hey, hi, hello, how are you? I'm Pia, and today I'm going to be talking about all the books that I DNF'd in the month of 2019, but in the year of 2019. If you were unaware, DNFing is basically when you do not finish a book. Put it down for whatever reason. At least for me, and for the most part, you don't really feel like picking it up again. So I have quite a few books. DNFing is a new thing that I started doing this year, and I'm so glad because these were books I just wasn't enjoying that just didn't do anything for me. So I'm going to talk about them in this video. First of all is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I really tried to read this book and I really wanted to get into it, but it just felt like nothing special to me. This is the first book in the Grisha trilogy, which like people say you have to read to get to Six of Crows, which is like an amazing duology apparently. It sets up this entire world. So I was very excited, especially since this is a very highly rated series on BookTube and just in general. But I could not get through this. There was nothing special about any character or any of the world or the magic, and everything was just annoying and like not well done, at least in my opinion. And I just got so bored with it. I was like, I feel like I've read this a million times and my necklace is backwards, but that's fine. Then we have Always Never Yours. Anyways, I've heard amazing things about this book, and it's like a girl who's like, she always dates guys and then they break up with her and go on to like date like their true loves basically. They're putting on like a production of Romeo and Juliet, so it's got all these vibes. The writing style in this was insufferable. I read this, or I tried to read this for the Buzzwordathon because it has you. This was the worst thing ever. It was written in a style that was, I don't know a better word than insufferable, but like I couldn't stand it because they were writing teenagers as they were adults and they were like mocking teenagers, and I was like, this is just not how kids talk. And like I haven't really had that issue much because I mean a lot of the books I read are young adult and for the most part they're written by actual adults, and I think they've gotten me pretty well. But for this book they like obviously had not been in high school ever, and like it was like watching a bad Netflix movie back when like Netflix only had bad high school movies, and it was terrible. It was so bad. So I could not stand it. I literally got, I think, like 20 pages through it and I just could not do it. So the next book is Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour. I was really excited about this because this was a sapphic romance. It's centered around filmmaking and California, and California and filmmaking are things that I'm very interested in, so I was really excited about it, but I was just so bored and I found myself not wanting to pick this up. And I think like the main problem I do have is like I couldn't connect with any of the characters. Not like, oh, like you're not like me so I'm not gonna read it, but like I didn't know them very well, and I think that was a real issue with this one because especially in a contemporary I really want to know my characters. I just like didn't care at all about the romance or anything like that, and I felt like no one really had chemistry or like any personality that was discernible. So I think I actually got pretty far through this and I just realized I didn't care what was going on and I didn't really need to see it through basically. Then I actually had an arc of this next book, and that was Orpheus Girl, and I hated this book. I think I said in my review it sounded like someone was writing one of their college essays back when the prompt was like, what's a fictional character that you are like, and it was like this girl talking about how she's just like Orpheus. And I really wanted to love this book, especially since it was for review, but I could not stand it. Like the writing style was so like, I don't want to say formulaic, but like impersonal, and like you really like, it hindered your enjoyment so much because it was like you knew someone was writing this. And especially like with the constant references to Orpheus being like, I'm like Orpheus because of this and this and this, and it's like, we get it, but like can you be a little more subtle? And I really wanted to like it. It was like, you know, it was a female romance who had to deal with going to like church camp and really being oppressed, and I was very interested to see how that would play out, but I just was like, it was so poorly written. It really could have used a lot more rounds of edits, and I just didn't care. And then the last book that I DNF'd during 2019 was Twice in a Blue Moon by Christina Lauren. Christina Lauren writes some of my favorite romance books, and I was beyond excited for Twice in a Blue Moon. I'd seen it get bad reviews, but I was so excited because I love like a Hollywood aspect to things, if you couldn't tell. But it was so boring, and these people like, it's told kind of in like the beginning is like a kind of flashback where like the girl is 19 and the guy is like 21 or something. They literally like, I mean, you do you, like you live your best life, but like they are like in love within a week and like they tell you and they show it, and I'm like, It was a lot. It didn't really feel like Christina Lauren, and I was very excited because it felt like it was gonna be like Evelyn Hugo-esque, but it was not. It was a big disappointment. I was tired of it, and I was tired of all the sexy times and that I couldn't skip over. So those, I think, are all the books that I DNF'd. I might have missed some because I'm a mess. Let me know how you guys feel about DNFing books, if you guys DNF'd any of the same ones, or what you did DNF in 2019. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!